Such has been the blowback of these comments that some allies squirmed and distanced themselves. While Sanjay Raut feigned ignorance when asked, his party MP Priyanka Chaturvedi slammed those who denigrate Sanatan, but still did not name Udhayanidhi. Even Mamata Banerjee asked for all religions to be respected. The BJP, though, is asking a simple question. What is the Congress's stand? Why isn't anyone coming out and outright condemning these statements as an attack on Hindus?
India is a secular country, India is a democratic country, and at the same time, unity in diversity is our origin. So, I respect Sanatan Dharma. We should not involve in any matter which may hurt any section of people. I feel that they have to respect every religion.
वो उनकी व्यक्तिगत राय होगी, हम उससे सहमत नहीं हैं।
और इस पर कांग्रेस चुप्पी साफ कर बैठी हुई है। मैं गहलोत साहब से कहना चाहता हूं, आप क्यों नहीं बोलते? क्यों नहीं सोनिया जी बोलती? क्यों नहीं राहुल जी बोलते कि सनातन धर्म के बारे में आपकी सोच क्या है? मैं कांग्रेस के लोगों से कहना चाहूंगा, गठबंधन में जितने लोग शामिल हैं, I.N.D.I.A गठबंधन में, सबसे मैं कहना चाहूंगा, इसके लिए उनको क्षमा मांगनी चाहिए, नहीं तो यह देश किसी भी सूरत में माफ नहीं करेगा। बहनों भाई,
ये राजनीति के लिए इतना नीचे गिर जाएंगे कि सनातन धर्म को खत्म करने की बात करेंगे। पूरे देश से इस गठबंधन के नेताओं को माफी मांगनी चाहिए। खड़गे जी हो, राहुल गांधी जी हो, सोनिया जी हो, बाकी राजनीतिक दलों के नेता हो, इनको पूरे देश और हिंदू समाज से माफी मांगनी चाहिए। देश इनको माफ नहीं करेगा।
जो लोग मोहब्बत का दुकान खोलने के लिए उतारे हैं, उनका इस स्टेटमेंट के बारे में, इस स्टैंड के बारे में उनको क्या कहना है, ये लोग जानना चाहते हैं।
हम पूछना चाहते हैं कि क्या सनातन धर्म को गाली देना, हिंदू धर्म को गाली देना कांग्रेस पार्टी की नीति बनी हुई है? ये घमंडिया गठबंधन की नीति बनी हुई है? भारत में जन्म हुआ सभी पंथ संप्रदाय, सभी उपासना पद्धति, सभी मत सनातन की अंश है।
So here is the thing. This is not the first time that such an attack has been launched on the Hindu faith and those who practiced it. From Swami Prasad Maurya of the Samajwadi Party calling Hinduism a hoax, to IUML youth wing workers raising calls to hang Hindus in front of temples and burn them alive, to the Education Minister of Bihar, RJD's Chandrasekhar, saying that Ramcharitmanas is a book that spreads hate. It's just that easy now to speak disparagingly of Hindus and their religion. But can a call to end Sanatan, to finish it off like an infestation or a disease, be simply brushed off as a personal opinion? Can it be justified as carrying forward the politics that Periyar espoused? Can someone today really argue that the comment was against caste and not a community? And most importantly, can members of Team India today simply distance themselves when they continue to platform the party, one of whose biggest leaders at present is calling for the end of Sanatan? Will a sharing of stage then not be seen as a sharing of that very idea? Let me take that question across to Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar, Dr. Riju Datta, spokesperson of the TMC, Dr. P. Pulla Rao, political analyst, senior journalist Ashutosh, and that first question, Mr. Sanjay Jha, is to you. The next time that entire Team India is on one stage and you will stand with the people who said, end Sanatan, how can you possibly distance yourself? This will be seen as an endorsement. Ironically, by the way, the first meeting, we are told, according to Nitish Kumar, will happen on 2nd of October, Gandhi Jayanti, when Gandhiji was the one who said that Sanatan cannot be proscribed by anyone.
Padmaja, good evening. Let me answer your question as quickly as possible. Point number one, as a practicing Hindu, my first objection is how the Sangh Parivar, the BJP and the RSS try and appropriate the custodianship of my great religion. I can tell you that the BJP and the RSS practice the politics of Hindutva, not Hinduism, which I think is a most universal, embracing, inclusive religion in the world. And I'm very proud of it. But I will not allow the BJP and the RSS to become the spokesperson for my Hindu
Mr.
community.
This is not even about the BJP. The question is very straight and simple.
Padmaja,
the question is about Hindus. BJP has no copyright over Hindus. You're saying Sanatan should be wiped out. You want to say BJP Mukt Bharat, by all means, please go fight elections, defeat them, do a BJP Mukt Bharat. But Sanatan is not about BJP or Congress. It's about an entire community.
Padmaja, if you want a meaningful debate, it will really help you to just take a deep breath and allow me 1 minute of uninterrupted.
Exactly. In the interest of meaningful debate, let's stick to the core issue here. Which is, so how can you ask for the annihilation of an entire dharma?
Okay. I'm assuming that you're now going to let me speak.
Yes.
Here are my two short points. I also object, and I'm answering your question. I'm not dodging it. I refuse. I will not dodge any question. I'll bite the bullet on this one. But it needs to be said. The context is important. A party that does not respond to the gang rape of a woman for over months, that humiliates India's championship in wrestling.
Not about the gang rape.
No, 1 minute. Do not interrupt me.
You cannot deflect from the topic.
Padmaja, you need to.
Mr. Jha, we just started out by saying we are seeking a meaningful debate. So please, let's have a meaningful debate and talk about what the issue is.
Ravi Shankar Prasad talked about sanskar. And I need to tell your viewers what is sanskar according to me.
But this is not about the BJP.
It is not.
Forget the BJP. You're saying
this
they
is
are
not about the
pretending to be
BJP.
custodians.
I'm
telling you nobody is the custodian. Just answer the question.
Padmaja, you saying this is not about the BJP.
This is not about the BJP.
Anyway, let me finish my statement. I'm saying that the BJP is the last party on earth.
But nobody wants to talk about the BJP.
Now let me answer.
I am asking you the question. Let them be the last person.
Can I just?
Yes, answer the question.
I'm just astonished as to how much you interrupt. You are not like this.
Because, sir, you do not answer the question. I myself am astonished how you are trying to go off on a tangent almost constantly.
Padmaja Joshi, as an anchor, you have to right to ask me a question, and as a speaker here, you cannot force words into my mouth. I'm saying
I can't, but I can at least request you to speak on the topic.
Let me speak. The viewers are watching how many times you're interrupting me. You're not doing any good to your own personal reputation.
Exactly. And the viewers are also watching how you refuse to talk on the topic, sir.
The viewers will know what I have to say if you stop interrupting me.
Yes, I will give you 1 minute interrupted, but speak on the topic.
The important part of this conversation is the context. And I, by the way, unfortunately, happen to be a student of political history. Mr. Stalin's comment is made in the context of those who know the entire social movement that happened with Periyar Ramaswamy. And that basically led actually to the formation of the political element which became the DMK and later on the I.N.D.I.A. And the entire movement of Periyar Ramaswamy, by the way, was based on anti-caste. In fact, I would go so far as to say it was even anti-Brahmin. It had a definite local identity in terms of language that it wanted. And that is the context in which I think Mr. Stalin has said what he said. Now, this is the interesting part. You will find that the I.N.D.I.A, which happens to be BJP's electoral partner, is missing from making any public statement. And that will tell you.
Let him speak, please. Now he's talking on the topic. Let him finish. Yes.
And that, Padmaja, is the hypocrisy and the duplicitous nature of the BJP. If the BJP feels so strongly about whatever Mr. Stalin has said, that is his personal opinion, they should go and challenge him in the state in whose context he's made that statement. That is the history of Tamil Nadu, for heaven's sake. Most of us in India don't care what happens in the northeast and what happens in the southern part of India. We don't know.
So now you've made a cogent point. I have to say, making that point for you to admit that the DMK's politics is anti-Brahmin, we wonder if the Congress will speak about this anti-Brahmin politics as well.
Excuse me, that was the Periyar Ramaswamy's entire belief. Now, you can put words in my mouth, but you are being extremely churlish, if not altogether infantile.
So you're saying it is anti-Brahmin, right?
I'm quoting what his politics was. I mean, how ridiculous can
Sure,
you be,
and the
Padmaja,
DMK is
honestly?
carrying on that politics, right?
No, I'm saying, do you know, by the way, let me ask you a question.
No,
do you
no,
know the history of Tamil
You
Nadu
claim
politics?
that. I'm
What
not
led to the
entirely
DMK?
sure. I'm not
Do you know the
entirely
role of
sure
Annadurai?
what Mamta
Do
ji
you
will
know
say
the
about
role
it if
of
you're
when
saying the
DMK
entire
and
politics
DMK
is
happened?
anti-Brahmin. Anyhow, because I said that this is not about the BJP questioning, etc., your cogent point is that this is the politics which is passed down from the time of Periyar. It wasn't
Well, it is a
meant to
social
be
movement.
Dushyant Sridhar
It
about
is an ideological
Hindus.
movement.
It was meant to be against caste. When he said that end Sanatan, he meant end casteism. So are the two synonymous?
That's my
Sanatan means casteism, Dushyant
I
Sridhar?
need to come in.
Okay. Namaskaram Padmaja and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. Padmaja, one kind request. I never interrupted. I will never interrupt any of my panelists. Just some patience. The opening remark is, Padmaja, it's a very, very sad fact that the majority Hindu community is an orphaned community in Bharatadesham. That's the truth. That said, I have 4 points to make. One, where does this word Sanatana Dharma come? In Ramayanam, in Kishkindha Kandam, Rama tells Vali, you have tried to force to have a physical relationship with your brother's wife, Ruma. This is not what Sanatana Dharma approves of. You should treat her as your daughter and not as, you should not coax yourself. Tyaktva Dharmam Sanatanam. This comes in Kishkindha Kandam of Valmiki Ramayanam. In Mahabharatam, we have Yecha Vedavido Vipraha, Yecha Adhyatma Chetasaha, Tevadanti Mahatmanam, Krishnam Dharmam Sanatanam. Whatever is the work, duties that need to be performed, whatever is the accrued knowledge that needs to be internalized, this is what our ancestors have taught about. This is what Krishna has espoused in Bhagavad Gita. 2. Third, speak the truth which is very pleasing. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, yeshaha, dharmaha, sanatanaha. This is another place. So there are plenty of such places which says that the eternal truth, satyam vada, dharmam chara, speak the truth, walk on the path of dharma, treat your parents as gods, treat your teacher with respect. This is Sanatana Dharma. In this huge umbrella of Sanatana Dharma, there are various aspects, including the pramana, the scriptures that come in. That kept on one side, Padmaja, let us understand what happened in the conclave, in the conference, in the summit that happened. K. Veeramani of Dravida Kazhagam suggested that Hindus is replaceable with Sanatana Dharma. So Hinduism is equal to Sanatana Dharma is his statement from the conclave. Followed by his speech came Udhayanidhi Stalin's speech, who said that Sanatana Dharma is a pathogen, it is a disease, it must be eradicated. And the irony is, Padmaja, they are saying it is anti-caste. On the same stage was the minister, Honorable Minister Shekhar Babu, who leads HRNCE, which is the Temple Association for the Hindus. So on the stage where the person is leading the maintenance of temples for the Hindus, on the same stage Hindus or Sanatana Dharma is told to be annihilated. 1. And they're saying anti-caste. It is there in all the public platforms. I am not speculating, you can fact check. It is a huge fact that Shekhar Babu had gone behind his daughter who went in marriage with a person from another caste. It is there in the public domain. So you are there on the stage with the same person who's working against against intercaste marriage, and then telling that I'm fighting for all castes to be treated equally. 1. Second thing, Periyar, in 1971, he took a rally of Rama and Sita. It is there in the public domain. He had a chappal mala around them and hit them. He called Sita a Kimayanam, prostitute. He said that the idols of Ganesha should be broken. It is there in the public domain where he said that the temples of Chidambaram and Srirangam should be stormed, bombed. He did say that the works, Tamil is a barbaric language. It is a language of the uncivilized. Silappadigaram is an Aryan book. Tirukkural is like excreta on a plate where we eat food. These were his remarks, Padmaja. And they're talking about women empowerment, which they say is not there in Sanatana Dharma. They come from the same ideology of the Dravidian ideology, where the ideologue Periyar is said to have married his own daughter. Chief Minister Karunanidhi publicly practiced polygamy. They did never have a woman president in the party, nor did they have any chief minister of the women clan. Finally, Padmaja, just one remark that I have to make. If they talk about caste, Valmiki, who gave us Ramayana, was of the Shudra caste. Nammalvar and Tirumangayalvar, whom we respect in the Tamil tradition, were Shudras. Dharmavyadha of Mahabharata was a Shudra. So at no point in time, Sanatana Dharma in its theory has ever degraded, underestimated people. One last point to be made, Padmaja. This was my opening remark. If there is an orphaned community in Bharatadesham, that is the majority Hindu community, nobody will raise a voice for it.
Okay. So essentially, it's quite clear from what Dushyant Sridhar has said, Riju Datta, that to argue that this is about speaking against caste is nothing more than a fig leaf. The context of this conference is absolutely clear, and the politics of the DMK is also very clear. Does the TMC and Team India still endorse this?
First of all, Padmaja, like my chairperson Mamata Banerjee said, that we do not endorse, condone or stand by the remarks made by Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin. Straight off the bat. Sanatan Dharma means eternal religion, and some people confuse it with Hindu orthodoxy, but it is not. It is not. We respect Sanatan Dharma, and I believe as long as India is not a religious nation, India, the only scripture we follow is the Indian Constitution, which says India is a secular democratic nation. And the beauty of India is that we have unity in diversity, and in that context, we should respect every religion and the sections of people that believe in that religion.
How can you continue
in that culture?
So you're accepting that this is a blatant disrespect?
This is, we have clearly said this, and my Supremo has said this, that it is, political leaders should stay away from making such ludicrous comments.
Now, but they haven't stayed away, they have made it. So now that they have made it, can you still share the same platform?
Now that is a decision that, as a spokesperson of a political party, I cannot say on a Times Now show. That needs to be understood or discussed and finalized by the tall leaders of the Indian Alliance.
So the thing is very simple. I mean, some things,
I will say this,
some things should be non-negotiable. If you have said this person has committed a crime, your party can't say that, oh, you know, the crime has been committed, but it was done in personal capacity. So as an alliance, we don't have a view on it. If you know that the crime has been committed, how can you share the same platform?
Correct.
If somebody has gone and denigrated an entire community, in fact asked for annihilation of Sanatan Dharma, how can you go to your voter tomorrow and say, vote for me, I'm still with this person?
Brilliant. Now, Padmaja, give me, you know, I don't know, yes, it's true that you have become a little impatient. Give me just 10 seconds to answer this particular question straightforward. And you know I give straight answer.
Yeah.
When you are asking the India Alliance to take a stand against Udhayanidhi Stalin and DMK, who is a member of the India Alliance, for making this ludicrous comment, then my counter question to you, madam, is that will BJP tomorrow break the NDA alliance with Jitin Majhi, who is a part of the NDA alliance, who categorically on record in front of media has said, I believe Valmiki was 10 times more educated and Vidwan than Ram, and Ram is nothing but an imaginary character. Will they take a stand on it?
Respond. So Sanju Verma, skeletons of your own.
Everybody has skeletons in their cupboard.
Skeletons of your own, Sanju Verma.
No, Padmaja, I am going to speak today what I want to speak. And what I want to speak is on the topic of the debate. The elephant in the room today is not what Jitin Ram Manjhi said. Jitin Ram Manjhi may be now in alliance with the BJP, but is not a bona fide BJP member. But here, we are talking today of Udhayanidhi Stalin, and I will not allow anyone to deflect and divert and digress from the topic. Point number one. Look at K.C. Venugopal. He is one of the senior most Congress leaders, not just another Tom, Dick or Harry. He said, we respect all religions. Every belief should be respected. But he did not name and shame the DMK's Udhayanidhi Stalin, who's of course the son of the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. Look at Rahul Gandhi. Muh mein dahi jam gaya hai. The same Rahul Gandhi who in 2017, during the Gujarat elections at that time, visited 38 temples wearing Janeyu outside his kurta, saying, मैं तो एक जनेऊ धारी हिंदू हूँ, मेरा गोत्र है दत्तात्रेय, मैं तो कश्मीरी हिंदू ब्राह्मण हूँ. Look at Priyanka Vadra. She never misses an opportunity on social media to, glorify her Kashmiri Hindu credentials. Has Priyanka Vadra named and shamed Udhayanidhi Stalin? No. Has Mamata Banerjee named and shamed Udhayanidhi Stalin? No. My limited point is this. Saying we do not stand with any Hindu-phobic comment, saying all religion should be respected, saying we believe that secularism should be practiced, all that is fine. But घर में चोरी हो गई है और चोर कौन है ये सबको पता है, पर चोर का नाम लेने में आप लोगों को इतनी दिक्कत और आपके पेट में इतना दर्द क्यों हो रहा है?
Okay, both Riju Datta and Sanjay Jha want to respond, then I'll bring in Ashutosh. Riju Datta first, then Sanjay Jha. Yes.
You gave everybody a lot of time. This is not fair.
No, hold on. Let him immediately respond. I'll come back to you, Sanju Verma.
20 seconds more. I will take 20 seconds.
Okay, only 20 seconds, but only 20 seconds, then Riju Datta. Yes.
Only 20 seconds and then this. In 20 seconds, I just want to say what Dushyant Sridhar said. For all those people like Udhayanidhi Stalin who say we are the believers of Periyar ideology, Periyar married his own daughter at the age of 72, who was 45 years younger to him. If given a chance, will DMK's MK Stalin, will Udhayanidhi Stalin, will you marry your own daughter?
Okay, please let's not make personal comments about anyone. Riju Datta respond, please. Let's just stick to the topic. No, this is not about making personal comments, please. Riju Datta respond and then Sanjay Jha.
Joshi.
Once again.
You don't allow
I will categorically say this. See, the question, the relevant, Padmaja, the relevant question I asked Suman ji from BJP on if you want India Alliance to take action against DMK, why can't you take action alliance on Jiten Ram Majhi? She cannot give an answer. She is right to condemn this statement, and we are also condemning this statement. And I am asking Suman Verma, Suman ji, Sanju ji,
the debate is on Udhayanidhi Stalin. The debate is not on
Sanju ji, Trinamool Congress, Sanju Verma, please hear me out.
Mamata Banerjee refused to wear a tilak.
No. Are Amit Shah remove this tilak. Amit Shah remove this tilak. Are you the custodian of my religion? Is RSS the custodian of my religion? Is Mohan Bhagwat the custodian of my religion? No. Don't give me dialogues and religion. Don't give me dialogues and religion. You are with people like Kapil Mishra. Okay, do not give dialogues. Amit Shah remove this tilak. Don't give me dialogues. That fraud Yogi Adityanath is cleaning his hand inside the Mahadev, in Kashi Vishwanath.
Okay, again, please let's not call names to people. This is not about individuals. Please, Riju Datta, please make your point. 20 seconds. I'll bring in Sanjay Jha and Ashutosh then. Yes.
Your Mamata Banerjee did not even want to speak.
I have categorically seen Mamata Banerjee and Trinamool Congress does not stand by this statement. We have made it very clear. Sanju Verma and BJP is hard of hearing. And if India Alliance has to take action on DMK, well, first Narendra Modi, Amit Shah should take action on Jiten Majhi, colleague Prabhu Ram, an imaginary character.
Okay.
Let them answer
while you make that comparison, and by all means action should be taken against Jiten Ram Manjhi, but Ashutosh, can you really compare the gravity of these two separate comments? And is this going to be damaging? Not in Tamil Nadu. In all likelihood, Tamil Nadu has known the politics of Periyar, has known the politics of DMK for decades now and has still voted for them. Is it going to be a bigger burden for parties like the Congress, the RJD, the JDU, basically parties who will have to explain this so-called Periyar politics to their voters in the north?
Padmaja, I think this debate is far more serious than shouting on each other. And we have to understand this, because this is the crux of the Hindu religion and this is the crux of the Hindu Dharma. There is no one book, there is no one God, there is no one school of philosophy. There is 6 schools of philosophies. There is Upanishads, there is Puran, there is Shankaracharya Jnana Marg, there is Ramanuja's Bhakti Marg, there is Chaitanya, there is Kabir, who says, Main Ram ki bahuriya. Somebody can have an objection to that. So there is a Gandhi's Ram, and there is Ambedkar's version of Hindu religion too. So let's not get into this. I do not endorse, I condemn what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said. I don't like it. This somewhere hurts me. I agree with that. But the point is, I want to raise a very important question here. Why we are trying to have only one kind of understanding of religion? Why there can't be a Dravidian understanding of religion there's a Bengali understanding of religion, there's a Jyotiba Phule understanding of religion, there is a Punjab understanding of religion, there's a Kashmir understanding of religion. And I'm raising a very important question because this is the book which has been the most controversial book which has been ever
Annihilation of Caste.
This is by B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar, BJP has embraced B.R. Ambedkar. All the political parties today they can't afford to disown B.R. Ambedkar because everybody wants a Dalit vote. But what has he written in this? When he was asked to deliver a lecture to Jat Paat Todak Mandal, Lahore in 1936, that speech was never delivered because there was serious objection. The book came out and he writes the paragraph 23.6, and I can't read today because if I read today, there will be a fire against me. Where it talks about why annihilation of caste is important because it's an integral part of the Hinduism. And I cannot leave caste and the suppression because as long as I'm a Hindu, I can't do that.
Okay. Your point is, Dushyant Sridhar, Ashutosh makes a bigger point. Why can't there be various interpretations of Sanatan? Okay, finish your point, Ashutosh, and then Dushyant Sridhar respond. Various interpretations of Sanatan. Ashutosh, yes.
So, not one, but at least at 3 places, he takes his arguments to the logical conclusion and explains why in 1956 he had to leave Hinduism and join Buddhism. The issue is very simple. What Jyotiba Phule has said, what Baba Saheb Ambedkar has said, is will BJP condemn Baba Saheb Ambedkar for writing this book?
Okay, let Dushyant Sridhar first respond to why can there not be various interpretations of Sanatan, and then BJP will respond. Yes, Dushyant Sridhar.
Okay. Namaste Padmaja again. Namaskaram to Ashutosh ji. One, the word Dravida comes in the Ramayanam itself. There are books like Dramidopanishad Tatparya Ratnavali written in the 13th century. But till the advent of Periyar, there was no separate sideline or identification or ideology of Dravidian at all. The Dramidopanishad Tatparya Ratnavali towed the exact line of the Vedas and the Vedanta. One. Second thing, Padmaja, very quickly, in 1957, in a public speech, Periyar had made an open call for the destruction of Agraharams of the Brahmins and killing thousands of Brahmins. So much so that in 1957, November 2nd, the former Prime Minister Shri Jawaharlal Nehru wrote a letter to Kamaraj stating that he is a lunatic, he has to be put to asylum. You cannot put people to massacre and genocide like this. That day, Jawaharlal Nehru ji had the audacity and the prowess to say, call him out. Today, I'm very upset with Sanjay Jaji. Sanjay has such a beautiful name because Sanjay declared the last shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha Yatra Partho. But today, I'm very upset with Sanjay ji where he doesn't say what he has spoken is wrong.
Sanjay Jaji,
that should be the
trying to hide
right?
behind fig leaves, but far more controversial thoughts behind this entire ideology. Why not an outright condemnation?
Padmaja, here are 2 points I wish to make. Number one, it is very important that we hear this conversation through. One is that anybody who understands the way both the DMK and Anna-DMK have become the political behemoths in Tamil Nadu, the gentleman here can wax eloquent till the cows come home. The people of Tamil Nadu have understood that their political ideology, their philosophy resonates with the people. There's a reason behind that. And you know, it is very easy for somebody
separatist politics.
Just a minute,
to resonate with people, you say the BJP has communal politics. That also resonates. That's hardly any justification.
I'm talking about Tamil Nadu. Padmaja, again, you're interrupting me. This gentleman spoke for 5 minutes without you uttering a chew. And here I start speaking and there you jump again. Here is my simple point. 1 minute. Who am I to condemn or approve or do anything with somebody's statement? All I'm saying here to you is it's a very complex historical reality that a lot of people in India tend to ignore. Just like we ignored the Northeast, we don't know anything. And Ashutosh is absolutely right. We don't know about the Dravidian movement at all. And that ignorance is showing through today.
What is complex about saying that you should wipe out Sanatan like a disease? It seems fairly straightforward. Sanju Verma wants to respond. It's a very complex argument. Sanju Verma.
I challenge the BJP to...
No, I will not say anything unless you give me my time because, you know, you keep saying that BJP will come in, but you don't give the BJP enough time. I barely got to speak for 60 seconds in a debate that has been going on for the last 30 minutes.
You tell your partner I.N.D.I.A.
I will not speak unless this man keeps...
Go on, make your point.
It is up to you to moderate the debate. I will not call you puerile or infantile like Sanjay Jha did, but I need my time. Thank you. Now let me make this, B.R. Ambedkar has been at the center of discussion. Everybody says that, okay, B.R. Ambedkar was against caste hierarchy. Yes, we endorse that B.R. Ambedkar, if he was indeed against caste hierarchy, while you cannot completely undo it in a complex country like India of 1.4 billion people, many of the things that he said were right. But if you want to accept what B.R. Ambedkar said on caste, you also need to accept what B.R. Ambedkar said in his book Pakistan or the Partition of India, and listen very carefully because this is about today's debate. B.R. Ambedkar writes in his book, and I'm quoting, "There is no concept of universal brotherhood of man when it comes to Muslims. The Muslim fraternity works like a corporation." These are his words. I'm reading out from the excerpts of his book. "The Muslim brotherhood works like a corporation. If you are a great Indian, you cannot be a true Muslim. And if you are a true Muslim, you cannot be a great Indian, because those who are faithful to Islam always believe that they have to treat non-believers as kafirs." And then he goes on to say that is perhaps the reason that Maulana Muhammad Ali, a great Indian but an even greater Muslim, preferred to be buried in Jerusalem rather than in India. The basic thing he said was that if you are a great Indian, you are not a true Muslim, and if you are a true Muslim, you cannot be a true Indian, because the heart of what Islam says is that non-believers of the Islamic faith are kafirs and need to be annihilated. And it was B.R. Ambedkar who said that there should be exchange of population on religious lines, but Mahatma Gandhi went against it. And everybody who knows even this much, my point is this, I'm coming to it. If you are saying that B.R. Ambedkar ne caste ke khilaf baat ki, we support B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar also said that the Islamic faith is just a corporation which treats the non-believers as kafirs. Do you believe B.R. Ambedkar in that? That Hindus are kafirs?
No.
Do you believe that B.R. Ambedkar...
Okay, Ashutosh responding, yes.
...treats non-believers as kafirs?
This is rather sad that the BJP spokesperson cannot utter a sentence without talking about Muslims. Sanju, please keep quiet. Please keep quiet.
Okay, one at a time, please. Yes, Ashutosh responding to. Yes.
I'm really amazed, because I always believe. Ask her to keep quiet. Padmaja, control her. Padmaja, control her. Yeah. See, Padmaja, I'm totally very amused because BJP spokesperson cannot utter a paragraph without referring to the Muslims. Fine, I have no problems with that. The point is that Baba Sahib Ambedkar has also said that the Hindutva is a dangerous ideology. It has to be stopped at any cost. Does Sanju Verma endorse that? Now let's come to the debate point. What I was talking about is, let's talk about Charvak. What he has said.
Hold on a second. The point she is making is you cannot selectively decide what you want to quote of B.R. Ambedkar. If you're talking about annihilation of caste, he also spoke of how a certain community's patriotism is suspect. Now, to quote that now would be intellectually dishonest, is the point being made.
Padmaja, I only want to emphasize the point that they cannot be selective, because if they want to get the votes of the Dalits, then they'll embrace Baba Sahib Ambedkar.
No one should be selective. Then even the Congress should not be selective and quoting Baba Sahib Ambedkar just because they want votes of the Muslims.
Let me complete. She can't be selective on that. Now let's come to the original debate. What Charvak has said. Charvak has said, Yavat jivet sukham jivet ranam krita ghitam tuvet. Vasni bhutasya dehasya puragaman krita. And then he said, which Sanju Verma will not understand. The throw vedasya kartaro vanda bhoot nishachara. Now what does it mean? So our Hindu religion gives that kind of a space to each and everybody. Even the Charvak who did not believe into the afterlife, who did not believe in Vedas, who did not believe in Upanishads, even he is treated as a rishi. That's the beauty of the religion. If you want to condemn...
Yeah, it is fine to have all streams of thought. But to call for the wiping out of the one thought, that is not equivalent to having all kinds of thought. You cannot say a call to violence should be accommodated as diverse thought.
Now should I read for you what Baba Sahib Ambedkar has written about Hindutva? Should I read for you?
Yes, sir. I have read Annihilation of Caste as well. I have studied it as well.
Will you guarantee me that there will not be a fire against me and I will not be arrested? If you want to read, I can forward you this.
Sir, I can't guarantee you anything. The law will take its course. All right. All right. Final.
That's what I'm saying. What Udhayanidhi Stalin has said, Baba Sahib Ambedkar has said something similar on that line.
Okay, Sanju Verma, what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said is not just a carryover of Periyar, but also echoing the thoughts of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Final word, Sanju Verma.
My final word is this. If you believe Ambedkar on caste, you have to also agree with Ambedkar's statement on hijab when he says that hijab is the most hideous piece of clothing in Indian society. You have to also, Padmaja, no, why is Ashutosh heckling me? You have to moderate the debate. This is not done.
Okay, can we please make this a thumb rule, one at a time? Go on.
So, when you believe Ambedkar on caste, believe what Ambedkar said about hijab being a regressive and hideous piece of clothing. Point number one. Do you agree when Ambedkar said, and Mahatma Gandhi disagreed with him, that there should have been an exchange of population on religious lines? But my last and most important point is this. Everybody knows that Annadurai belonged to the Mudaliyar community in Kanchipuram district. When DMK goes to ask for votes in Kanchipuram, they talk about Mudaliyars. When DMK goes to Chennai, Vellore, where Dalits form 17% of the population, they talk about Dalit communities like Pallar and Mallar. When the DMK goes to Western Tamil Nadu, it speaks about the Kongu caste because Kongus are dominant in Western Tamil Nadu. When DMK goes to Northern Tamil Nadu, it asks votes in the names of the Vaniyar caste because Vaniyars are dominant in Northern Tamil Nadu. When DMK goes to Southern and Central Tamil Nadu, it asks votes in the name of the Mullu Kothur caste because they are dominant in these regions. So if anyone has actually appropriated caste politics and done a damn good job of playing the caste vote bank and then still trying to pretend that we are against caste hierarchy, then it is the DMK. First, stop asking for votes in the name of Mudaliyars, in the name of Naradas, in the name of Vaniyars, in the name of Pallars, in the name of Mallars, in the name of Dalits, in the name of Mulukathurs, and then talk about a casteless society.
Okay, I'm just going to leave it at this. Already a legal complaint has been filed against Udhayanidhi Stalin. The political ramifications, though, could be much larger and far-reaching. Is distancing going to be enough? Because very often what is entrenched in the politics of a state may not be universally acceptable or comfortable to be espoused in the rest of the country. Thanks very much, all gentlemen. Sanju Verma for joining me. Fresh